Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, grasshoppers. We are starting a good friend of mine's birthday, Justus Williams. Hopefully that isn't too big. Made some refinements on stream this morning, and then I found out my microphone wasn't working. So I had to end the precursor stream, ironically. So I was on for a few minutes trying to fix the microphone in the background. And then what do you know? So as it turns out, we need 4 knight c3s, 4 d3s, and 4 g4s. I don't necessarily know who's going to get what. But my d3 percentage is the lowest of the 3. So I'm definitely going to be leveling out the d3 percentages when possible. Copy. Let's just put this into message some students that should be working. All right, now let's get 1 d3 out of the way. We'll mark it up. Could have lafonged me had he been stream sniping. How do I want to go about this? Let's go about it this way. Interesting. Made his bishop bad on purpose. That's so unusual. Takes. Let's just continue our development. Justus Williams. Is playing right now in the Continental Championship in Colombia. Wow. Let's put that into the thread. Get our rook off this long diagonal, because I cannot make out what I want to do with this just yet. So now it's official. This doesn't look correct, but we do need to keep some things under control. Pinpointing a couple of weaknesses. Bobbing and a weaving, weaving and a bobbing. We are graciously sponsored by Chess Increment. Alright, so now he can move his knight. We will see what this gets us, booby. He's got a threat. Bishop to b2 is probably a better move. But we will work around it. Somve. Really? Wait just a moment now. It looks as though we have an advantage. We have an advantage coming up. And now for something completely different. I don't think I want to take. Can I go after that pawn? Looks like it could be a weakness. We'll see what we can get on it. Just bobbing and a weaving around this weakness. We have a terrible position as white. This is why my percentage with d3 is so low. Probably e3 would have been just as good. I'm sorry, f3, f4, g4. h5, h3, the idea of rook to h1. Maybe. Just a nice chill weekend stream. Let's close the drapes just a little bit, as it is. So now, takes. The pawn is artificially isolated, but to what end? I really haven't done anything here. Farhad has a better position. Farhad could be winning. Do I have any way of surrounding the spawn quickly and efficiently? I don't think so. Okay. He flinched. And because he flinched, we may now see knight check. Rook to c5. Good knight versus bad bishop. All right, fair enough. Rook's doubling. Is it enough to win the end game, though? Do I have a way in? I don't think I have a way in. How do I have a way in? Do I need a way in? Which tempi do I need? Oh, you've got that, do you? Fascinating. Yes, you do have that. Ay, ay, ay. I think I need to play this first. Not enough to win, maybe, but maybe it is. Now I need him to sacrifice this pawn. And then we will see. I'm the one with the bad bishop. Whoa! That's craziness. Hold on here. So, takes a4, takes a3, and I don't get back. I do not get back in time. Can I sack this pawn? I have to decide now if I'm sacking the pawn. D6, E3, C5, F2. C'est la vie. D3 did not have its desired effect, unfortunately. Cheesemate also held to a draw. I'm positive that he was not happy with that one. Oh, as black, what do I need? I need 2 C5s. Well, that's interesting. I don't think you're supposed to be able to play C3 against this. Just going to be extremely patient. And remove as the defender of D4. And now for something extremely curious. Curiouser and curiouser. Knight to D4 could have been better. But we have done our part in finding the weaknesses in the position. Is it 2 pieces for the rook? Could be. We have more where this came from, Bobby. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're up a whole rook. He can only capture one thing at a time, right? He can only capture one thing at a time. So bishop takes. How can he leave his king out of the loop so long? I don't know. Oh, you're gonna do that to me? Oh, you're gonna do that to me. Fine. Silly me. Can't believe that I let that happen. Didn't need to play that. Could have played d4. Arg, I'm so weak tactically suddenly. Why is that? Why am I so weak tactically all of a sudden?
Pegasus Sway said more puzzles.
More puzzles indeed. He is planning on coming in. Queen f4. I think I do need to evict his rook. Really? More puzzles indeed. Alright, the cheese mate. Where did you go? Ladies and gentlemen, the cheese mate. Let's give him a quick shout out. Ladies and gentlemen, Ron, hey.
Now birds. Said hello there.
Whoops. Too many clams. Alright, our second C5 of the day. Oh, this is my favorite actually. B3. This was dealt with in the book trying to recall the name of the book. Experts versus the Anti-Sicilian. By Jakob Agard and Company in Quality Chess. Experts versus the Anti-Sicilian. So here I was torn between bishop takes and knight takes, but I think bishop takes is better. We're going for a Maroczy bind setup. Nothing at all too unusual. We're going to get a little pushy. And now for something completely different. Do we have a positional advantage? Or don't we? Let's just go for it. Who has the more weaknesses? Not sure what he's thinking about. Somewhat forced. Wow. That was craziness. That was craziness. Yes, I have a lot of weaknesses. I do have a lot of weaknesses, Booby. Knight takes. It is an exchange. And all of my pawns are on white squares. What? We do have two threats. Takes. I'm hoping this works out. I did this all intuitively. Oops. Hugo, you are a good player, sir. I was very lucky in this game. So we have a protected pass pawn heading down, and our opponent is a little bit outside the square. Let's just keep him at bay because we are going to win this game with that extra pawn. Oops. He made a mistake. A4 might have drawn the game. I could have made a mistake. Preventing the pawn from promoting. Preventing the pawn push. Started the day at 21:28. Yuck. If we go back in time here, we have 25:45 on white and black. Why isn't this updating? I've played 2 C5s. All right, let's close the other analysis port just in case. The other opening book tab. Interesting. So we do have our 2 C5s in. I'm fairly positive. Started with D3. I had black in that game. That was a C5. This was a C5. So I should have 2. Let's see what happened in our first game. What did happen in this game? I've never been black in this position. I have been black in this position twice. Okay, good. Now we are calculating. That's more like it. As black, we have 2 of those. We need 2 C6s, 2 E6s. 2 G6s. Those are the ones that we can finish today. We need 2 H6s. And if we're going to round out our B6s, we need 3 B6s.
Now Erds said, are you going to play in the titled arena?
I am. No words, ladies and gentlemen. I should re-edit that, because I realized that I made a mistake. I can't have greatest more than once for more than one moderator, so therefore uh-oh, I don't know Darkblade's entire name. I wanted to also include Darkblade. Well, at least we'll get it there. Where is Darkblade? TFS is here. Cheers, Mon. Whoops. Our game may have started. Now, what do I need against D for? That is going to require a different sheet. A very, very, very different sheet. As black, we do not know yet. I definitely need 2 E6s. That much is true. Against D4, I do need 2 E6s. Two G6s. Three D5s. 20, actually 28 D5s to put to
said
to
hello,
this.
what do we got here?
Darkblade 512. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, sir. Darkblade 512.
Now Erds said,
Blade
hello,
of the
Blade
Dark.
of the Dark.
Just trying to work out what I need. I think I need one knight f6, but I can't tell. It looks like it. One knight f6.
Darkblade. Said oh hey now Erds 123.
So we got our d3 in, I believe. Uh-oh, I didn't write down how many d3s I needed. Against Ali Reza, we need...
Said currently struggling with some digital design labs.
Oh no. Sounds like school is getting in the way of our playing chess. I am so jealous, Darkblade. So jealous. By the way, is anyone going to make it to TwitchCon Rotterdam? That is what I need to know.
Darkblade. Said unfortunately yes, my Blitz rating has fallen over 100 rating points. I'm depressed.
All right, there's a great... I want you to listen to the latest C Squared podcast interview with Maurice Ashley. 14 minutes in, or you can start 13 minutes in, just for the most important part. For a story with Judith Polgar. When I hear anyone talk about whether or not they are at all concerned with their ratings, in any particular department, from now on I'm going to just refer to that one. We're playing a classical Sicilian with a6 in, and it doesn't really make sense. Classical Sicilian Draken with a6 in. This does not make sense at all,
Darkblade. Said alright, got a link somewhere to check it out later.
Definitely check it out. Very, very important. So now, if I play e5, how much stuff is actually hanging? Takes. So the knight on f6 is hanging, queen takes. Let's see what we get out of this deal. It looks pretty ferocious. This is what we were threatening after all. Along with e6, but I have to be very careful of my bishops. I wanted king h1 and bishop to g1 in before I did any of this mess, but c'est la vie. It looks like stuff is hanging. He does have a way through. Really? That was interesting. So he's hoping for the discovery. And now for something completely different. Moment of truth. Knight to c6. This is what I'd planned on. I don't want to develop his pizzas, though. He does have to get his piece back. That is indeed the case. Takes. Let's just put the question to his queen. The queen seems to have very few squares to move to. Well, you have that move. It was an interesting choice of squares, I have to admit. We are in a bit sketchy position, that much is true. Just a bit sketchy of a position. Oh, you guarded it. He guarded his queen for e6. Arg. Fair enough. I'm not up a piece. That is the craziness of it all. I am not up a piece. So knight check. So if I capture and he captures, am I losing a pizza? That is the question. My rook is pinned. That's kind of a bummer. So I could be losing this. It is official. Yes, I could be losing this. now for the winner. Arg. I lost it. I got too fancy with bishop c7. Let's take a quick peek at that. So we need 4 knight c3s. 1, we need d3, we needed 1. g4, we need 4 as well, right? Knight takes b5, so I was still winning here. All I had to do was play knight to b3. How silly of me. I'm up a pizza. That is all I had to do. That is all, folks. Ye gods. I had this hallucination that I was still up a piece. Interestingly enough. Alright, chess love. Knight c3 again. First time we've ever played chess love. Quite crazy. Alrighty. Is this the best move? Why do I feel like I'm following a Hans Niemann game? That's interesting. Yeah. We're in some deep doo-doo. Some deep doo-doo. I try to get creative. The depth of our creativity has not yet been realized. All right. Oh no! He had that move. Aye, aye. Nicely done, sir. Nicely done. Knight c3 going down in flames these days. Can't tell everybody he had that move before the fact, though. He always had that move. The moment the pawn took. Let's take a quick peek at how bad that is. So in this position, bishop takes f6. No. e4 is correct. Is this not correct? Bishop to b5 check. And d takes c5. Queen a5 c3, queen takes c5. I like it. Yeah, e4 is the best move. But it doesn't have me down as playing e4 just yet. So therefore, our knight c3 count is a little bit behind. Our d3 count is up to date. The idea of playing a reverse Chigorin. Knight f3 might be okay as well, in a reverse Chigorin sense. But maybe just taking on c5, d4, bishop takes e6. What a short game that was. Gag. Who beat Chess's Love? Ali Reza. Very good, sir. If he has a French flag, then I worry. But no, he doesn't have a French flag. Ali Reza would not be flying an Iranian flag. I'm fairly certain. Everyone can hear the trains in the background running near the house. How to get an advantage against Ali Reza. One extra pawn. So that was a clue that we have to activate our king, if there ever was one. King. What could that word be king for in what language? What could that word be king for in what language? Ariel Zamora, nicely done.
Shaken, not still.
Queen A4. We're behind too much material to be able to survive this deviantly. Kalas. Thank you for joining the dojo. Namaste. And if you've not yet subscribed to the dojo, anyone, you may subscribe to the YouTube channel here. It will be immensely welcome. Well, queen takes e6 creates a further weakness. Ouch! Like I said, I'm not tactically sharp for whatever reason.
Call us. Thanks for following.
Call us. Rook to c1. Let's keep both rooks on the board. Oh, this does look like it wins more material. And now rook to b2. So Ali Reza could be going down to the newcomer. Check Youngness's history. He's a relatively new player on all fronts. But why? Oh, because he hasn't played in a while. He's played 300 games, but he hasn't played in a while on League Chess. That is the primary problem. He's mostly been playing casual, and he played 1 year ago. That's why all of his ratings have a question mark. His rating in... Cognis plays the French, the Open Sicilian, and it looks like he plays the King's Indian. Allergy season. This does present a little bit of a problem. shouldn't lose this game, though. That much is true. Problem is the rook in front of our passed pawn this whole time. Congress hasn't been moving his b pawn. That was his primary advantage from some time ago. He just kept making pawn moves where he was weak, it looks like. Let's see what's been happening. He definitely couldn't walk into the... and in this particular position, he definitely had to push it. Keep the king cut off. Because now, without the rook being here, what would have gone differently after this? b4, f5. Takes, takes. Huh. Now he's getting his b-pawn moving. He's got to shove that b-pawn as fast as humanly possible. Get his rook behind the pawn. Really. He could have checked. Played rook f6 and rook to b6. That may have also worked to limit the nature of White's rook. And now Congress has managed to achieve full attacking potential, whether he wants to bother the rook on the open file or not. Yes, we do a lot of backseating here for both sides, by the way. That was very unusual. Uncharacteristic mistake by Ali Reza. Ali Reza could be a very common name like John or Mike or Alex. Alex across all countries. Well, we didn't get to look at... Oh, I thought he played the open Sicilian. So we got one knight f6 in. I believe we're done with the knight f6s. I did reasonably well yesterday in a Grunfeld thematic. Therefore, we're going to continue with the our opponent is not normally a d4 player. Could be accessing his opening books, which is fully legal. Accessing opening books is fully legal. Let's keep it up. Well, that's interesting.
Hey, yeah, John.
Yes, hon.
Jessica wants you to call me. She got some cheap flight. She wants to book a flight back.
Okay. Is she okay?
She wants to book a flight back.
All right. Fair enough. I could lose a piece in that respect. Alright, we will give him the big center for our pass pawn on c5. It's probably best to take and play f6, and then I would have some compensation. Oh no, I can't play f6 because my knight's hanging. Oh no, I'm getting mated. Silly me. I'm just getting mated. I have to play f6 or knight f6 or both. Just getting mated. Not playing very well. So Cognis has assumed first place, but the other two are hot in pursuit. Ron Hay attempting to tackle. Queen takes check, knight check takes. Uh-oh. This is interesting. I don't know about this. Knight h5 or knight e8. Queen d2. Still looks good with the weakness on d6. That much is true. Queen d2, bishop takes b2, bishop takes h5. Is this pawn hanging? The knight's hanging. The dark squares are hanging. Yeah, queen d2 seems simplest. I'm just not playing very solid chess here. What's going on? Wait just a minute. Queen to d2, knight to c5. Why didn't we take queen to d2, knight to c5, bishop takes g7, knight takes e4. It just became very unclear. Bishop takes g7 seemed logical and best, but it was at least saving his knight, or was he? Queen to d2. After bishop g7, knight takes g7. Bishop takes e4. And it could lead to the same position after knight to g7. Only now it's white's turn to move instead of black's turn to move. Is that true? A half a tempo difference. I think bishop f3 was a little simpler, but okay, he's going for e4 to restrict the d pawn. It appears black will end up with an isolated d pawn at best if he tries to move it. I think rook to d2 was probably best. This position against deviantly. Why is Cheslov not on site at all? That is fascinating. Cheslov to lose his connection. We have to look back at Cheslov's previous history to see if he's had this happen before. Disconnected. Doesn't seem so. Plays a lot of casual half minute. What a way to go. If it's a disconnection issue anyway. Apple updates. Rebooting his computer. I think he has to capture here first. Or bishop check followed by knight e5. Bishop takes e5, rook takes e5, a3, bishop c1. Yuck. Well, that was unfortunate for Cheslov. $5,407 games 6 months ago, 2,717 games years ago. Oh no, he didn't withdraw. My score is so low that I got a full point buy. We do seem to be live. If you've not yet subscribed on Gory Hole, how are you? Durian defense. I think Durian is Filipino. Creator of the Durian defense, knight h6 and c5. And he beat the late Tony Miles. That's pretty cool in a simul in Kuala Lumpur in 1985. Durian. I don't think he's streamed in a while. The Durian defense stinks, by the way. Ba-dum-bump. Ba-dum-bump. That should solve some issues. Bishop b6, king h1. King h1 anyway. So bishop h3, knight h4. Does not quite work out, huh? Bishop d3, bishop h3, rook f2. It's a good question. Oliver is a tough opponent. Knight on c to e5 could pose a serious problem. A very serious problem.
7 raiders from
So, now we're trapped in a
Ilias
vicious
is
mind
back.
battling his own
Ilias
private
is
army.
back. How are you?
We'll be lost in limbo till our brains turn to scrambled egg.
The purveyor of many team battles. Promoter of team battles. I am FIDE trainer and National Master
Ilias
John
is
MacArthur.
back. Said hello sir, have a great stream.
Thank you so much. If you're not already following Ilias is back,
Shaken, not stirred.
Panda Franjedres.
you are missing out.
Said hey.
He is extremely active in promoting stream battles. A double exchange sacrifice.
Shaken, not
Thank you for the follow. Final comeback. Thank you for the follow. Fan de friend address. Fan de friend address.
Final comeback. Said hello.
How are you? Your name sounds familiar. Are you another version of a
Ilias
previous
is back.
final comeback?
Said enjoy your time at the Master Chess Dojo guys, I will lurk while eating my food. TFS. Said welcome raiders to my favorite streamer. Final comeback.
Yeah, it is a tournament. We
Said
actually
I am
run
warrior.
these tournaments every
Panda
single
Franjedres.
day. The dojo links are
Said
there.
it's a tournament.
We run Swiss system tournaments, so I play the maximum amount of people on average, so that I might play
Final
the maximum
comeback.
amount of people.
Said I am the warrior 72.
Ah, yes. I thought I recognized you. I am the warrior 72. Uh-oh, we're pinned to the C8 square. This couldn't bode ill. No, that's not going to do. C'est la vie. Ariel Zamora. I mean, the level of expectation there was a little bit
Nicodemonius.
low.
Said hello there.
Nico. Namaste. One of the few sound alerts that hasn't been banned by Twitch or Twitter. Uh-oh. Evgeny has Ariel Zamora in a little bit of a time scramble here. And Black looks like they're doing okay, but it seems to be very difficult for them to come up with moves. 93. So rookie 3. Or do you just ignore it?
French expert E.
Shaken, not
Said bonsoir here.
French expert E6. Just in case we weren't sure if he was talking about the language. Oh no, Queen F3. Evgeny. Rook F3. I think he touched his queen. And then he tapped the F3 square, and then he ended up hanging the rook to a tap move.
Ole. Said good afternoon Mr. John, good afternoon ladies and gentlemen.
Ole, good morning.
French expert E. Said hola ole.
Mr. World of Tanks. Yeah, this isn't going to bode well. Even though he has 20 seconds left on the clock. We're going to go back to our other tournament potential winner, Congness, who destroyed me, by the way.
Ole. Said Master Chess Dojo, thank you very much, way too kind sir. French expert E. Said oh I happy birthday.
It is happy birthday to a good friend of mine, Justus Williams, by the way. We run these birthday streams in all of the dojos. And if you've not yet subscribed on YouTube, that helps the channel immensely. You don't have to hit the bell to notify. That's asking a lot. As I'm streaming every day, you don't need a notification every day. Just
French
not
expert
necessary.
Said, what is the dojo?
Dojo is a common word for a place to train, spar, and practice. Basically a learning environment. I have been running a dojo-like format since since the early 2000s. It formally became a group session around 2004. I actually thought he was going to play knight to b6. Try to get his activity that way. Ouch. He walked right into it.
French expert E. Said, what is the recommended defense with black in the dojo?
The French, of course. No, the recommended defense with black is to counterattack the center as aggressively as you can, or choose to hold the center. And counterattacking the center includes the Caro-Kann, the Sicilian, Alekhine, not necessarily the Scandinavian, but definitely the French. Counterattacking the center, basically attacking the center, is key. There are 4 openings that attack the center, either directly or indirectly. Both the Scandinavian and Alekhine attack it directly. But the
Nakati Monius. Said, counter-attacking on the flanks is kinda popular here. French expert E. Said, Caro-Kann is not for dojo, it's for kids. French is for men. Pegasus Sway. Said, you forgot Caro-Kann.
The Caro-Kann and the French are the
Said
ways
B4,
of
B5,
indirectly
for example.
attacking. I did mention the Caro-Kann the first time around when he asked about the recommended openings for the most part. So then you have the ways of holding the center, such as the Queen's Gambit declined, or the open games with e4, e5, and Steinitz type defenses and Philidor type defenses. Holding the center.
Darkblade. Said, I don't know, I'm currently learning the modern and it's more fun than the French. I feel like I'm sick and tired of seeing the exchange French. Ilyes is back.
I love
Said,
playing
I
the
prefer
black side of the
counter-attacking
exchange
approach.
French. The black side of the exchange French speaks for itself. Uh-oh. This is going to be very hard to stop these 2 pawns. Yeah, but in general, we emphasize piece coordination and fun. So almost any opening is good.
Darkblade. Said, yes, but it's just a dead equal.
No, it's not dead equal. I would say that it's
French
equal
expert
play
E.
for both sides, but
Said,
the
yes, but
secret
even in the exchange variation, who plays Carlsbad reversed for black, you just send b5, b4 while I'm attacking king side.
The real secret is that you have to keep an asymmetrical position with the pieces. So if white plays knight f3, you're playing knight on g to e7. If white plays bishop
Pegasus
d3...
Sway. Said, you often hear a small sigh from black. Nakati Monius. Said, Darkblade 512 dead equal doesn't mean drawish.
Doesn't mean drawish. No, it just means equal chances for both sides. I've played the black side of the exchange French so many times. Basically, I get an early f6 in, followed by g5, g4, and I've won a lot of pawn storms as black. Because white invariably plays a move like bishop g5 to pin the knight on e7.
French expert E said plus the opening that made me win the most games in JNR World Championship was with exchange French.
Exactly.
Dark Blade said it does in the French. Unfortunately though, the only easy way to win is if you open the F file.
I don't think there's any easy way to win in the French. Most of the time when you're playing the French, you're winning the endgame. You're winning the endgame because white believes they have some sort of a small advantage due to the badly placed bishop on c8. But the bishop on c8 is already developed. It doesn't have to move anywhere. And there are a lot of people that play the Fort Knox variation. And the Fort Knox variation is an unnecessary two tempi that you don't need to play because the bishop's already developed on its original square. Do I need a French? Yes, I do need two Frenches. Let's get a couple of Frenches in. The other thing about it is that it is a... See how easy that was?
Dark Blade said yes, but you can't play a proper endgame in any blitz format, thus you can't win. French expert E said NC6 go.
Uh-oh, I blundered, everybody. I blundered.
French expert E said new NC6 BG4000.
Let's just keep developing. We can spot white a pawn. Here we are. As advertised, we're just one pawn short of our pawn storm. I will have to make do without the H pawn. We have to play g5, king g7.
Said don't remember where it was, but some stream on candidates used some kind of an advanced eval bar which showed probabilities of results: white win, draw, black win. Wish it would become the common practice. Nikati Monius
Interesting.
said speaking of dead equal.
That's pretty cool. Am I lost here? Am I dead lost? Check, 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 check. It looks like I'm dead lost. I failed to account for bishop to h7 check and bishop to g6 check. That's unfortunate.
French expert E said no is still playing. Rizvanis Viracul said arena link.
C'est la vie. It's not an arena, it is a Swiss.
Said a good example to not play the French.
This is the Rapid and Classical Dojo, by the way. The middle link in that.
Rizvanis
The middle link in that endeavor.
Said so can't join. Dark Blade
not today.
Said there is a type of evaluation that calculates not only the best move but the average advantage of all moves, showing the chance of not messing up.
Alright, moment of truth. We have a very ugly position here. We can't move anything. We've had our work cut out for us before.
French expert E said Ilyes is back. Well, tell the same thing to GM Fishbein with his 1,000 pages long book ABT the Echange, he would be mad.
Indeed. His 1,000 page long book, indeed. And now for something completely different. And now for something completely different. Where are you going, sir? Can we play it this way?
Nicodemonius said here is a post describing win draw loss eval if anyone is interested https://org blog 2020-04 WDL head.
There is a, I possibly believe there could be an extension for Lee Chest that might show this for you, and that might be what you are accessing. The Tournament of Computer Electronic Champions, TCEC. Wait a minute, what happened here? Oh, he gave that up? Interesting. All right. Wow. Oh no! Well, if I don't play Queen E2, c'est la vie. How bad was it? It was pretty bad. Queen E2.
TFS said I have the feeling that you are the last man standing who does Swiss tournaments on stream. Thank you.
Well, I believe that it's the best way for me to play everyone in the tournament, or at least many of the players in the tournament. Because arenas, the same people play each other all the time. The odds of you playing the streamer are like less than 30%. But in a Swiss, the odds of you playing the streamer are closer to 50% if you just stay long enough, provided the Swiss is a long enough Swiss. But Le Fanghua is going with Swiss events,
French
I think,
expert
now.
Said endgame was interesting though there was an imbalance playable. Nicodemonius
Yeah.
said it also leaves time to analyze and comment on.
Yes, indeed. That's the other main reason, is that I can actually get to other people's games and I'm just not non-stop streaming. So is this move such a bad move? Rook takes e7.
TFS said Nicodemonius exactly.
Queen E2 was best. Blunder. Thank you very much. Yeah, there were some chances here.
Ilyas
Perhaps
is
not that
back.
many.
Said, and I can tell you that from what I saw, viewers really enjoy it when the streamer watches their game.
Indeed. Which can't happen in an arena if the streamer is going to be doing it quite much. Actually, let me just go back to the exchange French and see what my percentages are as black in the exchange French. So I am scoring
Dark Blade.
about
Said Ilyas is back. When
Less
Lefon
than
watched me in the
60%
sub
is
battle,
black.
I was shaking LOL.
Oh, that happened to me too
Ilyas
when
is back.
I played
Said
for
Dark
AK and
Blade
Nemsco
512.
against Gotham Chess, and then Gotham Chess complains because my rating on chess.com is probably like 1900 or whatever, because I never play there, and he's like, John MacArthur can't be 1800. This is an outrage. Even though I was playing a 2000 rated player, which might have been more appropriate on chess.com, which is the #1 choice of amateurs worldwide. That is the server that is the #1 choice of chess amateurs everywhere, because they feel they're in there with the guys that are getting paid to play on chess.com, like Hikaru.
Dark Blade. Said, oh, I wanna see that. Got a clip somewhere.
Had I known
Ilyas
about
is
it, it was
back.
in the early days.
Said,
It
yet
was
it can make the player a bit
2020.
stressed.
When I first started streaming, and I didn't really have the clipping capability out. Plus, I've made many clips on AK and Nemsco streams, and they go away after a period of time.
French expert E. Said, how funny X5 has 57 prov of winning for black in Lycus.
Well, for me, that's just mine. If we go to the Masters, then it's 25% to 20%. So black has an edge in the exchange variation among Masters. But for me, it's more like 3/5.
French expert E. Said, black has an edge in the dead equal position.
For me, it's about I'm a 3/5 favorite. So how many times have I ever played Bishop G4 in this position? Once. I've played Bishop G4 once. Most of the time I do play Bishop F5. We can chalk that one up to another mouse slip. Yeah, Bishop F5, Bishop G5, F6 usually occurs. And against Ariel Zamora, this has happened before.
Dark Blade. Said French expert E6 because PPL who play the exchange basically admit not knowing any theory.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I am basically also attempting a GTO, where I'm playing, or I'm attempting to play 300 plus games with every first move possible. So going back for a moment here, into this French defense here, as black. I have one more to round it off to 410, but I really do need to play some of the other moves against the E4 to catch up to the 300.
Dark Blade.
G6, D6,
Said, I'm guilty
D5,
of that
Knight,
too
C6.
BTW, but soon I'll switch to the bird and screw all the annoying theory altogether.
Raven Stewart has a book on Chessable. If it's not out already, it's coming out on the Bird's opening. He has an amazing percentage score in Blitz, because when you know the themes and everything behind it, then you're in business. But as white, I think I'm good. I need to play more. Let's see. As white, I have myself down for 2 more Knight C3s. Why is it not refurbishing the game count?
Said
To all the ambitious young chess players, please stay away from the French defense. I actually agree with that. You should be learning all of the flexible opening structures that you can. Sicilians, E5, and perhaps have as a backup opening, but not as your main opening, the French or the Caro-Kann. Everybody should have an A, B, or C repertoire. Let's watch Ranahay and Congress. Thankfully, Ranahay has an edge against Congress. Check? I might have just checked the king to drive him away, rather than leaving him there.
Ilyes is back. Said my score against Ranahay is all losses.
Yeah, Ranahay is stronger than me at this point.
Darkblade. Said Bird and Modern are gonna be my new...
Yeah, the modern is very good. I actually might do a modern defense series. I love the Tim Taylor book on the bird. He does a great job explaining a lot of it. Unfortunately, I don't need a bird. I do need a G4 though. Let's get a G4 in, because I need 4 G4s. Let's get one in,
French
so now
expert
it's 3.
Said I have Nahdorf as backup as it is also very interesting, particularly the Hedgehog system. I really appreciated the 70s 80s Kasparov-Karpov games. Ilyes is back.
Indeed. Fighting Chess
my
by
backup
Wade.
opening as white is C4.
The original
Nikadi
Fighting
Monius.
Chess of Kasparov games.
Said my ABCs of chess openings of 4B4 C4.
And he doesn't play them necessarily in that order. He usually starts with B. I apologize for my large mouse, but I usually work on a laptop screen, so it is a little bit more difficult.
Said Turi IP.
Let's just keep the threats to the light squares in play here. Can we keep the threats to the light squares in play? It looks like he's given up on the white squares to a certain extent.
Ilyes is back. Said it's actually fine, it helps us see where you pointing the mouse better when you explaining something on screen.
I think so too. I think having a large hand is much better. Someone said they thought it was glitching out because of the way it travels across the squares. Like it becomes dark and light.
Nikadi Monius. Said by the way, how bad is a 4? Surely there is something to it.
Oh, I have a really good percentage with A4. How do I wish to continue this?
Ilyes is back. Said it keeps the contrast to stay visible.
Yep. And on most other screens, it's just a blue hand. I did have to make a decision there.
Nikadi Monius. Said NVM Carlsen played it against Rajabov, so it must be good.
Carlsen has also played A3 4 times in tournament play. And we're going to finish on time as I have a lesson at 11:30, so this works out well.
Ilyes is back. Said by the way, what are those countries and dates below your camera? Are those tournaments you play in?
Those are actually where
Ilyes
many of the
is
viewers are from.
Said or just the current time there. TFS.
Time zones
Said
where
time zones.
where the viewers are from.
Tam.
I have to make sure that
Said
it's...
our chess good to play.
Let's find...
Ilyes is back. Said oh very nice.
So yes, we've had, those are the common places where, although Baku is not, we haven't seen anyone from Baku in a while, as it turns out. In some time. Now Black has created a little bit of a problem for himself.
Ilyes is back. Said I think you got some people watching from France right now, including me.
Indeed. I can swap some of them out. In a way, they're supposed to be going across the top in a certain acceleration order. Now, I might have to move this pawn. Wow. I'm about to get run over again. Aren't I? Aren't I about to get run over again? It feels like it. Feels like I'm about to get run over by our opponent again. Oh, well, that's interesting. I wasn't expecting that. So now, for something completely different, I'm going to have to barnacle.
TFS.
D3
Said
score
some
very weak.
streamers have the viewer locations below the screen very nice. Ilyes is back. Said tomorrow S55 is at the same time like today S.
Yes.
TFS. Said yes.
Usually 9 a.m. New York time. I get to sleep in a little bit, or maybe do something before the stream, like do a little bit of studying, reading, having the coffee, relaxing, and then on weekdays 4 a.m. New York time, 4:30 a.m. New York time. And I put it at 5 minutes after the hour, so if you aim at the half hour.
Tama. Said why I have boring play chess.
If you are aiming at the half hour, then you'll be in business. Yes, yes, you can do that to me. I do not mind. Actually, I do mind, but what? Life is getting a little trickier.
Hey, can you come for a second?
I'm in the middle of a game, but yes, I do want to come for a second.
Yeah, I can try.
Now let's just remove the defender.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. What about you? What do you think?
For me, it's okay because now you see too much right.
Yes. Yes. No. Yeah. The first one. It's okay.
And now for something completely different.
Tama. Said Said I have board game maybe the best ever. My board are Monopoly.
I love Monopoly as well. All right, now. Where could he possibly be going? Let's keep this knight completely surrounded. We're just going to threaten that knight. And now for something completely irrelevant. What in the world? Check, check. Is that the case?
TFS. Said sorry MCD, I just discovered you have the viewer location too, but it doesn't load.
Yeah, it's not loading. I have been able to fix it. It's very, very annoying, to say the least. So this is good. That's good. Do I need to worry about this? I do need to worry about my queen. So I'm either attacking or defending. Check, check, check. It is very annoying that he has such a move. Knight takes, knight takes, knight takes, knight takes. He's not threatening anything, is he? Alright, well, in for a penny and in for a pound. Should we have taken with check first? Probably. And now for something completely, immeasurably ridiculous. It's unfortunate this did not lead to mate. C'est la vie, everyone. C'est la vie. All in all, a reasonably okay tournament. Takes 2.5 hours to run a 9-round Swiss. And it takes approximately, let me just adjust my calendar time. For my lesson anyway. There it is. C'est la vie. Thank you everyone for being here. We have reached 500 subscribers on YouTube. I meant to do a little celebration for that. Crossing my fingers that we are still at 500 YouTube subscribers. Tickets for TwitchCon Europe are now on sale. I love Dina Belenkaya's new look with the dark hair, by the way. I do love it. See if Ron Hayes taking care of Ariel Zamora. He seems to be better in this position. But it's a tough call. In a true sense, this pawn should be on a6 so that the king can run and hide in front of it and the rook can escape and they can build the wall and get the pawn through. So that once again, everybody should remember that the pawn on a6 is remotely better so that the king may hassle the rook and slip in front of the pawn and be able to extract the pawn. Uh-oh, and now Ron Hay is doing very, very well. Because of the isolated pawn, he has a slight edge in this endgame. Not a great edge, but a slight edge. Now the threat. I don't see any reason to dilly-dally anymore. It's going to take black a long time to go after the g3 pawn.
Nicodemonius said BTW viewer location works fine for me.
Oops. Really? The viewer location works fine for you. That's interesting. How are these players in standings? Third versus fourth. Does it affect them at all? Ron could not really improve. Congness has too good of... his tie breaks are just too good. But it's possible. Are there any other games going? No. He's going to get all of these tie-break points, which is only 4.5 points if he wins. You get half of your opponent's points if you draw with them. What? What happened? Oh, wait. I was looking at it the wrong way. It was Ariel Zamora that won? No, Ron Hay was white. White resigned. Oh no. Did he accidentally hit the wrong button? That's what I thought. Wrong button. Yes, we've all done that. You did that to me once too, by accident.
Pegasus Sway. Said is haha.
Yeah, I gotta laugh that off. It's alright, Ron. C'est la vie. By the way, if you we will be coming out with another episode of the French Bishop Chesscast in the near future. My wife wants us to keep going. Those are all the links. Chess Chopin has been missing in action for some time now. C'est la vie. So meanwhile, let us set about visiting one of our favorite streamers, the ever so lovely and endearing Alexandra Samikonova. She looks like she is in the middle of Infinite Variations Memorial Day. Wow, is it Memorial Day? And I didn't get to do my puzzle streak. Oh, we started a brand new puzzle streak. We're not going to improve on that just yet. We usually do at least 5 a day. I could probably do 10 in the space of 5, but not in the space of the amount of time we have left. So let's run our ending credits so that I might get fresh coffee before I leave, or before I start my next lesson. Thanks everyone for being here. Cheers and ciao. French expert, final comeback, friend, and call us one. Thank you. And thank you for the raid. Ilyas is back. If you're not yet following, Ilyas is back. And if you're not yet subscribed to the YouTube or in the Discord to get the announcements one way or the other, please join those now. You can also follow me at the same name on all of my socials. And I usually follow you back unless your account is private. And if your account is private, you may need to drop me a line. And I don't always check the non-follower. Thank you so much, everyone. Cheers and ciao. Dark Blade.